Are you someone who is getting ready for setting those goals for the next year? Stay tuned. We're going to talk about how you can actually achieve those goals with a proper hierarchy. Hi, I'm Jenny Femi-Laricano. I'm a designer and educator, and I help people just like you organize your creativity so you can communicate with more clarity. When trying to figure out a structure for how I like to establish my goal setting, I immediately started to think about the different hierarchies that exist for productivity that is currently out there. When working as a designer, we're constantly told by our peers and our teachers that we should always establish a hierarchy, like a typographic hierarchy, a visual hierarchy. We need to know what's the first thing we need to look at, second thing, third thing, fourth thing. And this totally makes sense for what we're creating. So why are we not using this same concept for our goal setting? It was included in Abraham Maslow's A Theory of Human Motivation that included the hierarchy of needs. If all of our needs are met, then we can focus on self-actualization, things that are actually more fulfilling. Another place that this concept of hierarchy is actually borrowed from is David Allen, creator of Getting Things Done. He actually talks about this concept of horizons of focus. And I've actually created a Notion template because I loved this concept so much. We are evolving from this concept of horizons as well as hierarchy to create this new concept that is unique to us. And I like to call that the hierarchy of fulfillment. And the reason why I call it that is because I like the term hierarchy because it's design and creative term that I use a lot with my typography students, but also this concept of fulfillment. As creatives, we get into our line of work. It's something that we like to do. The like really motivates us to create more, do more, we're getting better at. If we're able to marry both the like with the work, then we're able to achieve fulfillment. Then we're actually creating things that feels like achievement. This is the hierarchy structure. It's going to be very unique to the creative person experience. And so at the very top of this hierarchy is purpose. The why actually not only just inspires us to get out of bed in the morning, but it helps us dictate what those decisions are. Some questions that you can ask yourself to figure this out is, what have I done in my past that I felt particularly proud of? Some people like to think of this purpose statement as what kind of things are you trying to do for your family? What kind of legacy are you looking to leave behind? This could be a purpose statement as well, but you need to establish what that is in order for you to know if your goals are going to be serving that ultimately big purpose. So the next one is goals. And this is what we're really here for in terms of this video. One way you can think about your goals for the new year is making sure that they are considered SMART goals. So you want to make sure that your goals are specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, timed, but it's just a way to remember like how to establish these goals. When you're thinking about things that are more specific, you want to be a clear measurement. Saying that you're going to work out more in the new year is not as achievable or measurable as saying I'm going to work out 30 minutes a day, twice a week, every week. Having specific numbers in there makes that a lot easier for you to attain. There's a definite yes you did versus no you didn't. It's measurable because you can actually track that, and there's a number indicated with that because it's twice a week, every week. Also making sure that these are aligned with your purpose. There's a reason why this goal is important. Some questions you should ask yourself is, what are some things that you're trying to achieve in your current role? Are there any goals that you want to accomplish outside of your role creatively as well? What do you imagine for yourself 1 to 2 years from now? How do these goals get you closer to that reality? Now that you're thinking about 1 to 2 years, can you think about 3 to 5 years, even a wider time span? What are some goals that need to happen in order for that 3 to 5 year reality to exist? So after we've already established purpose, we looked at goals, now we are going to look at the areas of responsibility that we already have. These are how we stay committed to our goals and that we're choosing to contribute to society, to our local communities. Some questions you can ask yourself are, what areas of responsibility do I currently have myself committed to? Where are some areas that I want to continue to grow in that I haven't yet started to pursue yet? And can I take this on with my current workload? Having all of these listed give you an idea of all the different areas that you have to contribute yourself to. So the next one is projects. And this is actually probably the biggest thing when it comes to productivity or goal setting when it comes to creatives, because this is our opportunity to communicate and to put our money where our mouth is and show what we can do. Whenever you have projects, they have very specific start and end dates. They may or may not come attached with a very defined scope of work, either established by your client or the team that you might be working with. When we align our personal projects within this hierarchy of fulfillment, we need to be okay with letting things go and saying, yep, that's done now. As well as just taking a little bit at a time. Doesn't have to be done right away. Maybe sometimes a really tiny window of opportunity to do something actually gets you accomplishing things more than having forever to do it. Lots of different strategies to approach projects in the new year. But the biggest thing is to make sure that they're already aligned with things like your purpose, goals, and areas of responsibility so that they become a lot more achievable. Some questions you can ask yourself when it comes to projects. Are these projects the best use of the skills that I currently have? What do you need to communicate to your client or team so that you can accomplish your best work? Do you have the resources that you need, whether it be time or money, to accomplish what was originally set out for you? And if not, can you reduce the scope so that you do? Because sometimes it's not going to be feasible. The next thing on the hierarchy of fulfillment is resources. So the part about consumption habits is when we're mindlessly doing it. But if we're able to look at the things that we're consuming and approach them with the intention, knowing that we have a project this is for a potential area that we want to grow in, goal that we want to achieve, purpose that we have in our mind that is unique to us. Having all of those things in the back of our mind makes it a lot easier for us to pursue these resources. Some questions that you can ask yourself when it comes to what you're consuming in your resources: where are you currently spending your time consuming, and why are you choosing to consume in it? And the very last thing, the very bottom of this pyramid of the hierarchy of fulfillment, is all the tasks in the calendar and stuff. So this is actually how you're spending your day-to-day and how you're actually scheduling the things. If you're not scheduling those little bits that you need to get done within your projects, you might as well think that they're not going to be feasible. You also need to ask yourself whether or not you have the energy to accomplish these things. Giving yourself margin between all of our different objects on a composition is really important, but we also need to give ourselves margin for the things that are the events and the tasks that are important to us. The questions you can ask yourself regarding your tasks and your calendar is, are all of the things that I'm doing today especially important or urgent? Is there anything that I can just take off so that I can focus on one thing? Am I able to accomplish everything that I've set myself out to do today? What activities am I doing today that will be particularly draining from my energy? If I'm an introvert and I'm going to be at a group meeting for a couple hours, maybe it's a department meeting, there's gonna be multiple people there, am I gonna be exhausted from being around so many people? That's a possibility. So you wanna think about that too. If you need to have some time to recharge, maybe do you need 30 minutes of at your desk to kind of just get away from people, or just listen to some music or whatever you need to do. Just be mindful of what activities are especially draining on your energy. If we are structuring our creativity based on something that's rooted in our purpose and utilizing this hierarchy, will make it easier for us to make our decisions when it comes from our day-to-day. Also recognizing when opportunities come our way in the upcoming year on whether or not we should be taking those, and whether or not we should be saying no to other opportunities as well. Check out this video to learn how I like to document my projects and collect all of the details with creative projects. And until then, I will see you in the next video.